The United Nations Decade on Action on Family Farming is extremely important. It is being launched in May 2019 and will run through 2028. The importance of this from the perspective of the Committee on World Food Security, which I am chairing during this biennium, is that it calls attention upon the needs of family farmers all over the world. This has to do with what I call the 4/5 paradox, meaning that about 4/5 of all food is produced by family farmers all over the world. And at the same time, 80%, or 4/5 of those that suffer from hunger and malnutrition chronically throughout the world are, in fact, family farmers and their children. So this means that there is a lot to do to reverse this terrible trend, especially as we work towards Sustainable Development Goal number 2 of achieving zero hunger in a sustainable environment for agriculture and food production in general. This also means that there is a lot to do. CFS, and I would like to underline this, the Committee on World Food Security, exists precisely because governments have realized that political will in and by itself is not enough to defeat hunger and malnutrition. And this is why CFS is open to the civil society, to the private sector, to other UN agencies, apart from the Rome-based ones, which are FAO, the Organization for Food and Agriculture, the IFAD, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and WFP, the World Food Programme, also the World Health Organization, UNICEF, the World Bank, other international financial institutions, research centers under the umbrella of the CGIAR, and in general, a number of other constituents and stakeholders, non-state actors that all come together along with governments in order to tackle the problems of hunger and poverty. In this particular case, CFS is committed to family farming, not just because our high-level panel of experts has produced a number of reports on family farming, how to connect smallholders to markets, how to conduct better investments in agriculture, and so on and so forth, but also in supporting the UN Decade in particular. I have to say that with great pride that the Bureau of the CFS has very recently approved that to have the chair of the CFS to be a permanent member, not myself personally, but whoever occupies the chair of the CFS throughout the decade should have a seat in the International Steering Committee. This will strengthen the linkages between what is being done in the action plan for the decade on family farming and what we do in the CFS as the foremost inclusive platform for food security and nutrition in the world today. I will also add that as a representative of the Dominican Republic to the Rome-based United Nations agencies, and also as a member for the Dominican Republic together with Costa Rica in the International Steering Committee on Family Farming, we look to the action plan with great expectations, because the action plan is supposed to bring to the attention of everyone involved in the design and implementation of programs and projects, but also policies at country level, also at sub-regional and regional level, the ends and the goals of bringing family farmers to the table, bringing them not just to the policy convergence processes, but also in fostering better ways for their livelihoods, for, again, connecting them to markets, for making them part of the decision-making processes that will allow a proper empowerment of family farmers. This has to involve necessarily parliamentarians, social protection agencies, and also at ground level, everyone that is involved in the food systems, from governments that set the rules to those implementing them, municipalities, schools, and everyone that is involved up to the consumer and even post-consumers, so as to continue battling food losses and waste and other obstacles to achieving complete food security for all. One of the other elements that I would like to underline is, in the experience of my own country, the Dominican Republic, what we're doing is taking advantage not just of the new technologies, but also to bring a communicational perspective into everyone involved, from family farmers that are producing to the consumers in the cities and in the small towns that are taking advantage of the 0 kilometer produce that is coming out of these farms, but also to promote associations, cooperatives, because union makes strength, so that family farmers can know that they are in a position to pull together their resources, their knowledge base, their experiences in adapting and mitigating and being resilient in the face of climate change, for instance. Also in gaining a foothold in markets because of the denominations of origin and all of these techniques for labeling and for marketing that are so useful in order to have a wholesome offer for consumers. This is extremely important, and this of course begins both in the family of consumers, connecting with the family farmers, and also at schools. So it is very important that we all get the message from a very young age and throughout our lifetimes that we continue valuing and appreciating food, especially the food that comes from family farmers.